What just happened? How's it going, everyone? Equinox Phoenix here, and today we're going to talk about The Flash, Season 8, Episode 7, titled Lockdown. Uh, alright, let's take this step by step. Allegra and Chester are being very awkward with each other. Uh, they're like, you're very dateable, but I they're not asking each other. They're like, oh yes, you're very dateable in all ways, and it's like, just ask each other out, please. And all hell breaks loose. Three different crimes happening simultaneously. Now, the Flash, a mugging, a carjacking, and Jitters being held up by gunpoint. Why would you try and rob a coffee shop? That's like robbing a Starbucks. Like, what the hell? Anyway, so the Flash comes in, like uber super, like he just comes in at super speed, takes all three criminals, cuffs them, and drops them off at CCPD. Kramer is not so happy with this development because the Flash is the Flash isn't exactly working with Kramer. He's kind of working in parallel with Kramer, right, and the CCPD. This is a new development because last we heard he was working directly with CCPD when Joe was captain. They have not explored this since Joe stopped being captain when he quit, which is like 2 seasons ago. Anyway, where's that last season? Damn, my memory's fuzzy. Anyway, again on bread. Anyway, Barry goes to Joe and Cecile to get advice on what he should do. You know, because he is the Flash. And Joe's like, look, I had a line to the Flash, a direct line to the Flash when I was captain. uh, and Cecile was like, yeah, same when I was in the DA's office. Like, and they're like, yeah, we had a line. They're family, though. Like, Joe raised the Barry after Thawne pulled a Thawne, going back in time and murderizing people. Ugh. Anyway, Joe ends the conversation with, just think about it, right? Don't make any decisions yet. Put some thought into it, which is actually good advice. Uh, you want to put thought into it because if you make a split second decision, it's anyway. Barry is now back with Kramer. He comes in. He's like, "Here's all the evidence uh that you need for the three that the Flash brought in today." Kramer's like, "Yeah, but what about tomorrow, or the day after that, or the day after that?" Um, Kramer seems to have ulterior motives to wanting a direct line to the Flash. More on that later. You just get that feeling in this conversation. Then, as she opens the elevator door, gas pours out, and they all pass out. They then wake up, and Goldface is here. I hate Goldface, by the way. I mean, it's Boy Toy is in the house, and he's looking for something in the weapons vault thing. Kramer's like, oh no, if he gets what he wants, it'll be bad. Which, I mean, yeah, when a supervillain gets what he wants, it tends to be bad. He goes into the vault, and oh wait, what he's looking for is missing. So he threatens to murderize Kramer and Barry, who he knows Barry as the chemist. Anyway, so he threatens to choke Barry to death with the golden chain. And Barry at the last second is like, wait, wait, I can help, I can help. I don't know why Barry's going like this, but I guess it's because his powers are like not working. I mean, to be fair, when you're choking, it's a very human response to just be like to hold your hand to your neck. So, regardless of how you're being choked, whether it's internal or external, your automatic response is to hold onto your neck and try and like dislodge it, which is this makes me uncomfy. Just doing this to myself makes me uncomfy. Like I'm not even like squeezing or anything. It's just I'm barely touching and it makes me uncomfy. Anyway, um, Barry's like, I have a sensor, I can do it. He goes upstairs. While Barry's chatting it up with Goldface, Amunet calls, and time's almost out. So Goldface brings up Kramer and is like, if you don't get this thing done, I'll kill her. Right? Because obviously threatening to kill them, they're just like, yeah, kill me. Sucks to suck. Now, Barry actually is not making a sensor. He's making like a stun weapon type thing. Because when he turns it on, it lets off a sonic, like a sonic screeching type thing that just kind of like puts down Goldface and henchman number one, who apparently is a very disappointing henchman because he hasn't read the books that Goldface got him for Christmas. First edition books. Look, man, I don't care if you're good or evil. Sorry, we're going on a tangent for a bit. If your boss buys you books and wants you to read them, you read the books. Right? Especially if your boss is a supervillain and could kill you at the drop of a hat. You kind of, it's called self-preservation. Right? Like, it's called self-preservation. You go, you read the books, and so when he, lets out Moby Dick and I forget what the other story is. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments. I hear the YouTube comment section loves to correct people. I haven't gotten many of those though. Maybe I'm just not. I mean, to be fair, it's kind of hard to correct me of all people, but Anyway, back to the story. Tangent over. Again. They escape and they go into the docks and they end up in like a storage room. Now, here is where things get a bit interesting. We find out that Kramer cannot control her powers. And that's why she wants to meet with the Flash. She wants training to be a good meta, which, yeah, that makes sense, right? Like, she wants training, and Barry's the one who says it, and he's like, oh, you want trainer. Look, you can do this. I believe in you. You just need to control Goldface's powers for 30 seconds. That's all you need to do so I can get this cuff off. Right? Now, Kramer does go, Officer Kobek? Is I believe her name? She's like the recurring officer. So she's actually like an important person for me to remember the name of. I just because her name is mentioned so little, I'm pretty sure it's Kobek. I don't know her first name, but her last name is Kobek. Has the golden chain around her neck, and Goldface is counting down from 30, and he's like 29, 27, gets interrupted by henchman number one. He's like, dude, you got no sense of drama. 26, 25. Oh, whoop! The chain's grabbed by Kramer and wrapped around her hands. Hey, Kramer's here, controlling powers. Kramer holds it on long enough for Barry to pop the bracelet off and book it at super speed. The explosion causes I hope that didn't pick up by my mic. Causes Kramer just enough stress to cancel the powers. Um, just long enough, just in time for, and he's like, "Oh, looks like the chemist is dead." Blah 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 blah. Goldface is really like smug about hearing the explosion, and then the Flash comes in, zooms in, cuffs everybody. It was like, really, man? You broke into a to a precinct? Are you like, what the hell? What were you thinking? And then Aminet calls, and he's like, Bear's like, really? Second time Barry hears the ringtone, and this time he's like, really? Because obviously this time he can actually like react without getting, you know, blown to Kingdom Come. And he's like, what can I say? I do anything for love, which, you know, that is pretty admirable. Doing anything for love, that's pretty admirable. This is a very interesting episode when it comes to that phrase, doing anything for love. More on that on the second storyline. That, wow, this video is long as fuck. We're 11 and a half minutes in, and we're still missing a storyline in the last scene. Anyway, after all is said and done, the Flash meets up with Kramer, and he gives her a little device to call him with, and he also decides to reveal his identity. And in response to him saying, "I'm going to show you my secret identity," Kramer's like, "Alan, I know it's you," and he's just like, "What the hell? How?" She has the burnt up bracelet, and so like, yeah, the only way you could have survived this is if you had super speed. And he's like, okay, oh look, I'll gladly train. You're a good cop. Joe is right. You're a good cop, and I'd be glad to train you to be a good meta, right? Good as in good with control, all right, so that she can, you know, which, hell, her knowing the secret is good because like in like worst case scenario, right? Like a case in an incident like this, she copies Goldface's powers, neutralizes the bracelets on both, copies Barry's powers, and then they both zoom out and save everyone. Like, I really hope Goldface doesn't pull this shit again. Goldface coming back, fine. I love seeing Goldface and Aminette, to be fair. But anyway, so now the other storyline for this episode. This could be a very long one because it's very heavy, right? This is like movie heavy levels of content. You could tell because this is like more than like 15 minutes. Anyway, so Caitlin is going on a date with Marcus, who we were almost introduced to during Armageddon. Oh, and unfortunately, Caitlin made the reservation for next January. Like, wow, that's a minute and a half into the future. Like, whoa. Anyway, so they end up at the bar that a certain couple we know and love are hanging out in, and they're doing karaoke at the moment, and so it ends up being a double date. When Caitlin makes a loud noise, Frost uh and Mark turn it into a double date. Now, Caitlin here goes completely on. She goes off on both Frost and Mark for going. Yeah, by the way, Mark and Marcus, like they're very similar names. Like, jeez. Anyway, so Caitlin goes off on both Frost and Mark over the fact that they've betrayed each other. And that they're both it's like really weird. Like, she just goes off. Now, of course, Frost is upset, and Marcus is like, "Hey, are you okay?" Like, it's like chill, kind of thing. Like, he wanted to tell her to chill, but like, he's just like, "How do I phrase this without screwing up?" Right? He's like, "Hey," and like, she wants to go home. Anyway, when Caitlin goes to pay the tab, Mark comes in and gives her some advice. sh- and points out that she's not really upset at the two of them dating. It's more she's afraid of making that same move, of going all in a relationship. Now, older viewers of The Flash will know exactly why she's afraid. Um, Rest in peace. Anyway, um, because the last time she went all in was Ronnie Raymond, and like I said, rest in peace. Anyway, Mark then kind of sort of forces Caitlyn to pay his tab. I say kind of sort of because Caitlyn could very well refuse and be like, "No, that's Mark's tab. Like it's got nothing to do with me." She doesn't. We know this because she grabs both receipts and she's just like, and it, it kind of works as a thank you for good advice, right? Like, it's kind of dickish to force someone to pay your tab, but hey. Um, wow, way too much happens this episode. They had like a movie length into like 40 minutes. Jeez. Anyway, when Frost gets home, Caitlyn asks for a minute of Frost's time, where she then apologizes, and she admits to the problem. You know, she's afraid of going all in and all of that, and she mentions that she's made the decision to go all in with Orcus. When Frost brings up a double date again, like a real one, Caitlyn agrees, and Frost immediately drafts her into a roller derby, saying, "I hope you have a mouth guard," and then walks away to go do whatever it was she was planning on doing with Mark at the time. I don't remember because this was really early in the episode, and obviously, you know, we know memory's bad. Anyway, the final scene has Iris having dinner with her dad. You know, normal things, right? Barry's kind of trapped at CCPD. I mean, anyway, apparently Joe has made some food that's straight out of Ethiopia, and she's like, "When the hell did you go to Ethiopia for a year?" And he's like, "It's called retirement, because obviously with retirement you have all the time in the world, right?" He's learning how to cook whatever he wants. Apparently, it turns out really great too. So hey, more power to Joe, right? See, this is why I wish I lived alone and like I had like a work from home type of job, because then I could just cook whatever I want, right? If I want to have a nice steak, I could. If I want to have, I'm not a fan of fish, so I was about to say if I want to have fish, I could, but like I'm not a fan of seafood, so that's obviously out. But like you know, I could have whatever I want, right? If I want to have curry, I do love curry. Anyway, so as Iris goes to take an extra bite before packing things up for Barry, her fork disappears. And then Joe walks in from the front door. Um there's something up with my headset showing the volume repeatedly. Anyway, that's not relevant. That's the distraction. Anyway, and Joe walks in through the front door. Wait, he was just upstairs. So Iris asks, "Weren't you just upstairs?" And he's like, "Yeah, then you asked me to get some case files." And so I did. Are you okay? Right? And she's like, "Yeah, I must have zoned out." And then her eyes glow still force green. Uh-oh. Remember how she was taking treatments for time sickness and they had to reverse it for Armageddon? Yeah, it back. It back bad. Um, Ooh. She like she lost a good like 10 minutes or some shit like that. Like that's if not more. Oof. Anyway, that was the episode. Holy shit, this is a long video. I hope someone watches this till the end. I really do. Um, if you've gotten all the way to the end of this video, type hashtag Stillforce into the comment section. I guess. Um. Anyway, tell me what you guys thought of the episode down in the comment section down below. That's gonna be it for this video. If you guys haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe for new. I will see you guys next time, and as always, stay bright. Man, that was a packed episode.